Hey guys, what's up? Kodaka here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be doing a Crimson on deck with the EX2 stuff. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So I've been playtesting with this deck a lot, and I've been trying to find a perfect balance for the cards to run in this deck because there's just so many different matchups in this current meta, and there's a lot of decks that it's very hard to make one specific build to target all the meta decks right now. So this is kind of like a more general build, and it's very. I did play test it for like the last week, so it is a pretty good spot now. But yeah, let's just get right into the deck first. So for the level 7s, we're running 2 Crimson modes. I was running this at 3 before. 3 gets a little bit too clunky, so I'm running 2 for now. If I feel like I need to have more later on, I'll probably bump this up back to 3. But I think 2 is okay. You search for it enough, and by the late game, you're going to have 1 or 2 copies in your hand. So I think it's perfectly fine. Next, we are running 3 of the new Digimon. This is the one from EX2. This is the SR. When on your turn, this card gets plus 2,000 power, so it's a 14k beater. And if you have a Tamer on the field, the DP is increased by 2,000 for all your effects that have deletion based on DP. And when this card attacks, you can delete up to 6,000 DP worth of stuff. And yeah, so if you have a Tamer, it'll pop up to 8k, which is pretty good. There's a lot of the Reaper decks out in the meta right now, and this is one of the best decks to counter against them. So if you're playing in meta with a lot of D Reaper decks, Digimon is definitely the way to go. If not, then this deck can still counter a lot of Rookie Rush decks or decks that base a lot of their cards on rookies, like Digimon and stuff, and Armor Rush. So it's not bad, but yeah, we'll talk about the matchups later. But I'm running 3 for now. I was running 4, but it didn't really do that great against decks with bigger Digimon like purple and green. So yeah. Next, we are running 2 Digimons from the start deck. So this one is pretty up in the air for me. I really like this because it's a 3-cost Digivolve, which is one of the only 3-cost Digivolve Digimons in the deck right now. So if you do need to, if you're starting out with 3 memory, you can just Digivolve into this and then go into Crimson mode for the Blitz, and that can usually win you games. Just in case you don't have anything pop, because there's times when you Digivolve into this one and your opponent doesn't have anything for you to pop, and you're already going to Blitz with this. So it's not ideal. I like having the options to Digivolve for 3 cost. Next, we are running 2 of the BT2 Digimons. These ones are actually pretty good. They can help you win games. If your opponent only has 1 security left and you can't Digivolve into level 7, you can just Digivolve into this. This one will Blitz. You trash the card in their security and then go for a game with this attack, provided they don't have blockers. And with this card skill, when you Digivolve, you can pop something with 6k or less. So that's most blockers right now. If you're playing against black, then that's too bad for you. But this deck has a bit of a problem playing against black anyway. So anyway, so that's the lineup for the level 6 and 7s. Next, for the level 5s, we're running 4 of the new EX2 Mega Growlmon, or War Growlmon. So when this card attacks, you can pop something 4k or less, and if you have a Tamer, you can pop something 6k or less. And then the Inherit skill that gives you plus 1,000 more for your DP threshold. So this is a pretty good card. Again, this is mainly here for your D Reaper matchups. Not that great against decks that you can't already pop. Like 9k and 8k doesn't make too much of a difference if you're not playing against a deck that has a lot of stuff. But yeah, this is good against Digimon decks and whatnot, so this is nice. Next, we're running 1 of the start deck 7 War Growlmon. This is just here for the security check if you need it, and it is searchable with Gallantmon. And yeah, not much else to say about that. If you don't like this card, you can run another thing instead. I'm running 3 Rise Greymons. You can run a 4th one if you don't like the War Growlmon. I know some people like to run the 4 War Growlmons from the start deck and then none of these. I guess it really depends on your what the environment in your meta is like. Alright, your locals at least, if you're not playing competitively. So yeah, we're running 3 of the Rise Greymons. These are here for you to help you cheat your Takados out. Also help you cheat out your Taijis or your other new Red Tamer. So if you feel like you need to play more Tamers and you're not playing them enough, you can bump this up to 4. I was running this at 4 before as well, but I feel like I have too much of them in my hand late game. And I'd rather have more options, which this one will come in handy. So yeah, next, he also helps you decrease your opponent's Digimon's DP by 2k. So in a way, this is kind of better than this because negating 2k will bump up some 11ks down to 9k. Or yeah, it depends. It depends on what you want, but decreasing the threshold also helps you pop more stuff potentially with the new Digimon. So yeah, pretty nice overall. Next, we're running 4 of the Gallantmons from Start Deck 7. This is one of the best cards in this deck. It helps you get memory. Very good for your blitz plays. So nothing else to say about that. Next is your EX2 Gallantmon. This one is here to help you pop stuff that's 3k or less. And if you have the Digimon, it helps you pop 5k, so you can pop those 1k blockers. And it helps you just clear out the board more in combination with the Digimon. So overall, very nice card. Next, we're running the 1 cost blocker. This is just here to help you go up 1 for 1 memory. It's very cheap to have, and it's also very strong. So I quite like it. I was running Security Check Greymons instead before, but they don't really do anything for the deck at the moment. So running 3 of those. If you want to run Security Check Greymons instead, but that's fine. But I kind of like having the 2 in 1 memory cost option just so I can game with the memory control. Next, we are running 4 Gallantmons. This is the ones from EX1. So we're running these because it's a searcher. It helps you search for Takados and Digimons and Gallantmons. Very strong. And it also helps you pop stuff that's 3k or less. So yeah, pretty much the same inherent effect as the Gallantmon. So you can do a lot of shenanigans with this card if you're playing against decks that focus heavily on low attack power Digimon. So for example, if you have something like this, you attack, if they have an Armor Digimon, you can use this to pop their Armor Digimon, and they Armor Purge, and then you can still use these to pop their other stuff. So you can just get rid of the whole chain. So Armor Purge won't be able to purge fast enough. So there's that. Next, we are running 4 of the Gallantmon from from the start deck. This helps you warp Digivolve. Very good. If your opponent has level 6 on the board, you can warp Digivolve into this. Blitz and potentially go for game. Very strong combo. I really like the warp Digivolving. So your opponent will probably play around that, knowing that you do play the Gallantmon. So yeah. Next, we are running 4 of the Start Deck 7 Agumon. This one helps when you attack a player, you get plus 2k. A lot of times you will be attacking a player. So if you're attacking with a Security Check Greymon, you don't really want to crash. So you want to beef up your Digimon, and that's why we're running these. Not much else to say. I guess mainly because there's nothing really in this deck that can help you buff up your numbers. So this is one of the only cards that can do that, and we love it for it. If you have this is a source. It'll be attacking for 16k, which gets over most Digimon in the security. The main Digimon right now that are trouble in security are Crimson Modes, Blast Modes. It can't get over Paladin Mode. It's also 16k, but not a lot of people are playing Paladin Mode right now, so that's fine. All right, next we are going to be playing Tamers. We're running 4 Takados. So one of the best cards that came up for the Digimon archetype. It just gives all your Gallantmon and Digimon Blitz. So it's pretty good. And whenever something gets deleted, you can also rest this Tamer to get 1 memory. So I think playing this at 4 is a mandatory, because if you don't have this, your deck kind of bricks, because you can't blitz with your Digimons, which is one of the main selling points for this deck. Just attacking, blitzing, and then wiping your opponent's board, and then getting a bunch of memory back so you can continue your plays. For example, if your opponent has a bunch of Digimon, normally in the meta right now, they shouldn't have a bunch of Digimon on board, but if they do have like multiple Digimon, you can attack with this, pop something. If you have this on the board, you can get memory back, and then it'll still be on your turn. So for example, if you are starting a turn with 3 memory, and you Digivolve into this, you blitz, they're at 1, you pop something, then you can unsuspend. You can suspend this to go back to 1, and then you can, if there's something that you can't delete, just go into Crimson Mode and pop that. So it kind of acts like a Gaia Force that costs 2 memory less. And it's also harder to get rid of this. Of course, there are still ways that they can get rid of it with some removal cards can get rid pretty easily, but it's not hard. It's not easy to beat over. That's what I'm trying to get at. All right, next we are running 1 Tai Chi and 1 Amano. This is purely preference on my part. You can run 2 Tai Chi or 2 Amano if you want. Amano's good because whenever level 5 or above attacks, you can rest this to get 2000 power. So this is the other way you can get power for your Digimon. So if you can't pop them, you can beat over them. So this is pretty good. And Tai Chi is just good because you get the security check. So if you are raising a line in your raising area, and you move it out on your turn, and you have a Takara on your field, Digivolve into your Digimon, blitz into it, and then you're getting extra security check. So if you have the Digimon, you get 3 checks, which is pretty nice. Which is one of the reasons why I was playing the security check Greymon before, but I took it out mainly because it didn't really gel too well with the rest of this deck. I'll let you know what else you can take out for that if you want to focus more on that. Alright, next let's go on to the option cards. Next we're into Red Blazes, just here to help you play against blue decks and yellow-purple decks. Or blue-green decks and yellow-purple decks. They like to cheat Digimon out. So with this, your opponent can't play Digimon with card effects. So, pretty good. Also helps you wipe your opponent's board if they have a bunch of Digimon on the field. Of course, if you have the Digimon, it increases by 8k, or yeah, increases to 8k, so it pops pretty much everything. Next, we are running 2 red memory boosts, so this is here to help you get a little bit of extra memory, as well as to help you search for combo pieces. So, not much else to say about that. Alright, next let's go on to the options for some of the cards that you can run instead. So as I mentioned before, these ones are kind of optional. Obviously the Rise Greymons you can run that 4 if you want. Next, Dark Tyrannomon, you can run this over the blocker if you want. It is 1k more, but in the current meta, it doesn't really make that much difference. That's why I'm not running these. Gaia Force, it's definitely here if you want to be able to pop something indefinitely. It is a good card, but 8 memory is a little bit too much, and in the current meta, if you give 8 memory away, that could cost you the game, especially if you get up against blue, yellow, green decks. With 8 memory, they can do a lot of attacks, so that's not good. That's why I'm not running it. Next option is to have the Security Check Greymon. Of course, this deck right now doesn't really require too much on hitting big. A lot of times you want to get rid of your opponent's security with your discard effects, like your Crimson Mode and your Digimon from BD2. Because with those, you can bypass security control. This one does give you it does give you a little bit closer to winning, but it's up to you guys. If you don't like the Growlmon from EX2, you can definitely take these out and run Greymons instead. But honestly, I think being able to search for these Growlmons is kind of important when you play your Gillmons. So it's really up to you guys. And last but not least, we are another option we have is the Megadramon. So this card, I was playtesting with it a bit. It is nice, but I feel like, at least against the decks I'm playing against, 5 memory costs a little bit too much. Of course, you can argue that you have Takato and stuff that you can use, but 5 costs a little much. And his on deletion effect, a lot of times if you're playing against green or blue, they're going to get rid of it without deleting it, so you won't be getting a plus, and you're just going to give them 5 memory. So I don't really like it. It does work pretty well with the War Growlmon though, because you can, if you digivolve like this, you can pop something that's 10k, 11k or less. But right now, the big Digimon are usually 12 or 13k, so you won't be able to delete those, and that's why I'm not running these. I even bought a bunch of alt arts for these, but I ended up not running any of them. You can tech 1 or 2 in if you want. I know a lot of people don't like to run the start deck Dukemon, and I understand it is, the popping threshold for him is kind of low, but I don't know. I kind of like the extra security it gives, and when you do pop something, it bumps himself to 14k, which is a pretty nice number. And you can digivolve this and then blitz with it, because it is considered a Chaos Gallantmon. So yeah, I don't know. It's up to you guys. But that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a really fun deck. It's not the best deck in this meta right now. It is very easy to play against, and if your opponent knows what you're doing, they can just play around it and just not push Digimon out until they have a big enough Digimon that you can't get rid of, or at least you won't be able to get rid of their Digimon without using a lot of resources, like going up to Crimson Mode or something else. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Kartaku. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about the Digitamas. So Digitamas, we're running 4 of the Gigimons. I'm missing 1 of the alt arts. I do want to have a play set of these. I'm also missing alt arts for this. So these ones, I'm not too worried. I actually like these arts more than the alt arts, but I am gonna probably get 2 more of the EX ones. Anyway, running 4 of the Gigimons. Honestly, this one is actually up to you guys. If you don't want to run these, then you can definitely run 4 of these instead. Getting plus 2k is definitely pretty nice. Helps you change your Crimson Mode to 17k, which beats over everything. And Digimons help you draw, which helps you dig into your combo pieces, which is pretty good. For instance, when you blitz, you can just if you have a bricked hand, even if you digivolve into a Growlmon, you can just blitz with it, and then hopefully dig into something that you can use. So I quite like it. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. If you guys want to support the channel, use the affiliate links down below. But this is Kartaku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!